I really appreciate you joining me today, and don't forget to send your stories to news@scarcitystudios.com. Following on from the last story where £800,000 of cannabis was seized in Birmingham, Metropolitan Police officers down in London have seized 350 kilos of cocaine that was on board a small boat in an operation involving the National Crime Agency and Border Force. The vessel was a Kingfisher Sports Explorer, and they seized the 350 kilos that was on board, and the drugs are estimated to have a street value of £35 million. Detectives from Scotland Yard deployed to Eastbourne in Sussex on Saturday the 18th of February, where they intercepted the boat while it was moored in the harbour at approximately 10:15 in the evening. The operation started after police received intelligence that the boat was making suspicious movements in the channel. 3 men have been arrested, and today they have been charged and remanded in custody for conspiracy to import Class A drugs. Detective Inspector Lydia Stevens from the Metropolitan Crime Command said, "We are committed to tackling Class A drugs in the community. This is a massive shipment and it was destined for the streets of London." Martin French from the National Crime Agency said, "The NCA brought a significant number of capabilities into the investigation that helped to secure these charges, and they will continue to work with partners like the NCA and Border Force to stop this from happening." In some other news based in Birmingham coming from the National Crime Agency, a key figure has been arrested who was smuggling human beings, mainly Vietnamese migrants, to the UK in the back of lorries. He has been jailed today. Zan Lee, 33 years old, who is a Vietnamese national himself, orchestrated the crossings between August and September of 2020 from his flat in Handsworth, Birmingham. Phone evidence produced by the NCA showed that Lee was the UK kingpin of a wider global network of people smugglers that transported illegal immigrants from Vietnam to the UK. Using a range of different phone numbers, social media accounts and also pseudonyms, Lee would arrange for people to be transported across Europe and loaded into vans across Belgium, France and the Netherlands. Once they arrived in the UK, a taxi driver called Habib Basadi, 42 years old from Kent, worked with Lee to pick up the migrants and drive them to the West Midlands, as well as collecting cash payments. NCA investigators were able to prove that Lee was involved in at least 7 different importations of human beings, and this was over a period of only 2 weeks. Lee was arrested at his home address in September 2021, having tried to flee the property when he saw police arrive. Initially, he gave a different name, but through working with authorities in Vietnam, the NCA were able to establish his true identity. Following a 6-week trial at Birmingham Crown Court, both men were found guilty of conspiring to facilitate the illegal immigration dated December 2022. On the 22nd of February this week, at the same court, Lee was sentenced to 7.5 years in prison. The taxi driver Basadi was jailed for 2.5 years, but that was suspended. NCA Branch Commander Mick Pope said, "Zan Lee showed complete disregard for anybody that he was moving across the channel. He treated them like there was a commodity, and he was happy to risk their lives for financial benefit." So really appreciate you joining me for these stories. Please don't forget to like, comment, share and subscribe, and leave your thoughts below. I'll be back again very shortly with some more news.
Yeah, on the table.